One more game. One more game after this. But actually, does this game mean anything at this point? What is up, Finn fans? The Miami Dolphins are heading up to Cleveland, Ohio to take on the Cleveland Browns, the beat up, down bad Cleveland Browns. Now, when the season started, we looked at this stretch, this 6-game stretch, and we all were like, oh, oh my goodness, this 6-game stretch is a feisty one. And I kept telling people, you look at the 6-game stretch starting with the Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, Browns, Jets again. A lot could change from the beginning of the season till now. A lot could change. So we'll see how that 6-game stretch is. Now, looking at the 6-game stretch as of today, there was 2 good teams that we faced because the Jets aren't good. We beat them. The 49ers aren't good. We beat them. Cleveland's not good. I'll talk about that. And the Jets, again, they ain't good. You got the Packers are good. And the Texans, the only reason we beat the Texans is because Tua felt like turning the ball over a bunch. Like I said, it wasn't as scary as it was going to be. A lot can change from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. That's why a lot of times when I make my record prediction, I say, take it with a grain of salt. A lot could change. This is for fun. Don't take this seriously. Even when the schedule comes out and people want to do their record, it's just too soon. Because now we're sitting here. We got 1 game left. Unfortunately, we are 7-8 instead of being 10-5 if 2 would have just slid, and fighting for our playoff hopes. Which, in all honesty, if they make it in, which I doubt they will, they got to go up to Buffalo. Hello? But is this game going to mean something by the time that they play it? By 4:05 on Sunday, is this game going to mean something? Actually, it's not even by 4:05 on Sunday. It's literally by the end of the day Saturday. Because, yes, by 4:30, so about 7 o'clock, 7:30 on Saturday, will the Dolphins-Cleveland game mean anything? I'm going to talk about that, as well as a ton of other things, because we are previewing this game. So let's jump into it. We're going to start with the injury report. I'm going to start with the Cleveland Browns. And you look at Cleveland's here. They are dealing with injuries on top of the other injuries. David Njoku is dealing with a knee injury. He didn't practice for 2 days. That kind of bodes well for the Dolphins. They struggle against tight ends. You got... I don't want to butcher his name, but I will butcher his name. The defensive end, Ogbo. I'm just going to call him Ogbo. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name. Dealing with a knee injury. He's been out for 2 days. You have a lot of limiteds in their cornerback, their tight end. Jerry Jeudy's limited. Their quarterback that they just started last week is dealing with a calf injury. He's limited. Cedric Tillman, Jameis Winston, right shoulder, is also limited. You got full practice, so like I do for everyone else, just give them the benefit of the doubt. Make her... injury report look a little bit better. But those top 2 did not practice, as well as, the way they're playing. Myles Garrett's a little banged up, but he'll go. Cleveland's down bad. And then you got the Miami Dolphins injury report. You got 4 did not practices in Teron Armstead and Kendall Fuller. Jordan Poyer is dealing with a knee and a finger. And Anthony Walker Jr. didn't practice. He's dealing with a knee injury. Now, those top 4 is a lot of knees. Kendall Fuller got hurt in the 49ers game. Jordan Poyer, I don't know what happened to him. Teron Armstead has been dealing with an knee injury, and he normally doesn't practice during the week, which probably, honestly, I'm not even going to knock him because he doesn't play bad. He's the bright spot. And then a lot of limiteds in Jordan Brooke, D. Eskridge, Tyreek Hill, Alec Ingle, Tua. And then Jalen Waddle went from do not practice to limited. So the receivers are back out there doing their thing. Malik was full. And Calais Campbell. So again, I'll do the same. But it looks like the Dolphins might get their receivers back. Tyreek Hill's now dealing with a wrist and an ankle injury, from what I heard. So there's a lot of banged up players. But again, it is week 17. So at this point of the season, pretty much everyone's banged up. But the Dolphins are definitely more healthy than the Cleveland Browns are. But it is Cleveland. And I will talk about the weather. We'll talk about the weather after the PFF, because that's an issue with the Dolphins. But it might have ended up being better for the Dolphins. So let's go to the breakdown. We'll start with the Miami Dolphins defense versus their offense. Defense isn't bad. Got an 8th ranked defense. I think that has a lot to do with beating up on bad offenses. 11th in passing, 6th in rushing isn't bad. 10th in scoring, 26th in sacks. I want that to go up. I want to see some sacks. Pause. Tackling of the quarterback this week. Third down defense pretty good on third. Takeaways 26. I'd like to see a little that go up as well. You know, we don't get interceptions. We don't. Facing a bad offense. 25th in total offense, 19th in passing, 27th in rushing ever since Nick Chubb went back down. 31st in scoring, 32nd in sacks. They give up the most sacks in the NFL. 32nd in third down offense. They are not good. And 31st in giveaways. They give the ball away a lot. This is where this defense of the Dolphins feasts against teams like this that just aren't good football teams. And then if we flip it around and look at the Dolphins offense versus their defense, 17th total offense, 15th total passing offense, 25th rushing offense, 23rd in scoring, 15th in sacks allowed, but we all know why that is, because we throw a lot of screens and quick passes. Third down offense is 17th. Giveaways is 13th, which is not bad. We tend to not turn the ball over. We do it in spurts like the Texans game where we had 3 interceptions, or we had back-to-back fumble games against, no, it was a back-to-back. I think it was against Tennessee and no, it was against Seattle and the Colts. Back to, fumbles. Facing a defense that's kind of mid. 19th ranked defense, 14th in passing, 19th in rushing, 26th in scoring, 14th in sacks. Well, you got Myles Garrett on there, so he's going to get some sacks. 9th in third down defense, and 28th in takeaways. They tend to not get turnovers. So it's another situation where it might be a low-scoring game, or the Dolphins offense can hopefully stick to their good stuff. What am I saying? What am I saying right now? But let's jump into looking at our team versus their team in a segment I like to call PFFF. Boom, 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 boom. Now, again, the grades are the grades. You can take them, leave them, put them in your back pocket, save them for later, whatever you want to do. This is their offense. It ain't that good. Jerry Jeudy's dealing with an injury. Will he play? Probably. And Njoku didn't practice for 2 days. He might not be out there. Their offensive line, outside of Conklin, isn't that good. Robinson isn't good. Ford, not bad. But it's like everyone else outside of Jerry Jeudy is meh. And then you have the Dolphin defense. A defensive line. Chop is really getting pressure. He's been getting a ton of sacks. He's tied for the most sacks among all the rookie defensive linemen and pass rushers. You got the interior here in Campbell and Sealer doing great things. Brooks really well. Walker probably won't play, so we'll probably get Terrell Dotson in there, which I'm happy about. Ramsey, Kohu with the interception. Our safeties are not good, and Storm Duck will probably be the opposite guy with Kendall Fuller dealing with a knee injury. He probably won't go. And if we flip it around, you look at their defense again. Myles Garrett, he's good. Ward, he's good. Grant Delpit kind of fallen off a little bit. The interior of their defensive line isn't great, but again, their edge rushers is pretty good. You've got Teron Armstead doing really well. Kendall Lamb doing really well. Jonnu Smith doing really well. Aaron Brewer doing really well. Jones, Eichenberg suck. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to throw it right out there. They suck. I'm getting ahead of myself. Bad. Our guards are horrible. Focus on that. Future is Patrick Paul. Lamb's a free agent, but we have Austin Jackson. You need to address these 2 positions. I'm getting ahead of myself because these are videos that are going to happen when the season's over. Tyreek Hill, he's been down bad. He even came out and said it. He's dealing with a wrist, now an ankle, all of this stuff. But he does take a lot of attention away so Johnny can get open. Waddle did practice, so maybe we will see him out there. Malik Washington's doing great. Tua likes to feast on bad teams. This is a bad team. Maybe he'll feast on it. And Achane has been fantastic. Last week, how many all-purpose yards did that man have? Really, really good here. So, that being said, let's now look at the weather. Because the weather is a little bit different. So this is Cleveland's weather. I'll even show you because you might be like, hey, what are you looking at? Cleveland, Ohio. This is Sunday. 58 degrees and raining during the day. 41 and raining at night. Now, for them at night starts moonrise. Probably, around 7 o'clock is when they are judging this weather, when between 7 and 5 is when they're judging the 58 degrees. So it's much warmer than if they were to play on like Thursday where it's 32, or next Friday or Saturday when it's 28. It is much warmer. It isn't that below 30s weather. You're looking at between 58 and 41 degrees, which I was not. I was expecting this. This is the weather I was expecting, snow showers and stuff for Cleveland on Sunday, the 29th in December. But no, we are getting, 50 degrees, 40, mid 40s, high 50s, which is completely different than we were expecting going into this game. So that might bode well. But again, rain, 18-mile-an-hour winds. You got 93% chance rain during the day. You got a 67% chance rain during night. It's going to be a messy game. That's where the running comes in. And that's where we get into the 5 things the Dolphins need to do if they want to win this game. And I'm going to jump right in here to number 1. You got to run the ball. I for some reason, I deleted the 1 in this. Let me fix it real quick for you guys. I don't know why I did that. There you go. Nope. There you go. 1. Run the ball. Devon Achane, fantastic last week, especially with Isaiah Wynn in there. Really good. Focus on him. Get him the ball. Don't have it be crazy. But here's the thing. The way our offense is working now and the changes that they have made due to the fact of the ineptitude of the interior of the offensive line, this offense kind of predicates to this style because we're not going to be airing it out, throwing it downfield, because it's hard to do it in 18-mile-an-hour rainy winds. You get screens, you get handoffs, you get all that stuff. So that actually might bode well for us in this game. So run the ball. Number 2 on my list, keep Wynn in. Do not put Liam Eichenberg back in there. Isaiah Wynn, when he was in there, and I showed you in the film breakdown, essentially the same play where it was an outside run to the right side. You saw Liam Eichenberg get pushed back 3 yards. You saw Isaiah Wynn make contact and keep him at the line of scrimmage. 2 different styles of player. You need to keep Isaiah Wynn in, especially in these styles of weather. You don't want Liam Eichenberg out there struggling or causing penalties. You want to keep Wynn in, have him continue to do the push, and have us help run that ball. So keep Isaiah Wynn in the game. Number 3 on my list, chop feast. Got some pork chops. Gotta let this man eat. Last week, the Cincinnati Bengals got 5 sacks on this Cleveland Browns team. And like I said before, they have 63 sacks on the season, which is most in the NFL. Their pressure percentage is 27.2%, which is second most in the NFL. I'm hoping Chop Robinson comes out and he gets 2 sacks in this game. Hopefully more. I want to see him go off. I want them to focus on Sealer and Agba and Calais Campbell and everyone else, and just continue going after him. And if Conklin's on the one side, move him to the other side. I want Chop to get sack after sack after sack. I want him to feast. He's sitting at 6 sacks. Get to 10 sacks this game. Get 4 sacks. Get after the quarterback. Feast on him. He's a young quarterback, inexperienced. Go get after him. A little bit of feasting. Number 4, stop the run. Again, their quarterback, I'm not going to crap on him, but he's not good. And if they get the running game going, and if they don't have to depend on him, kind of like what happened with the Dolphins facing the Colts, where, the fumble hurt us, but also Richardson started running the ball instead of throwing it because he was doing really bad throwing it, and that's what really helped them get into field goal range and kind of start to move the ball, was because he just would keep the ball and run and run and run. That's what hurt us there. So if we could stop the run and then really force this guy to throw the ball and make mistakes, like I showed you, they're pretty bad at when it comes to turning the ball over, we could really win this game. And my last and final thing, is this game worth something? Is it going to be, is there anything going to be on the line? Because again, the Chargers play at 1 and the Denver Broncos play at 4:30 tomorrow. If the Chargers and the Broncos win, the Dolphins are eliminated from the playoffs. But if either of those teams lose, the Dolphins still have a chance. They then have to hope for the Colts to lose to the Giants. That's not going to happen because the Colts are literally tanking. Or the Colts to lose against the Jaguars in the last week of the season, and then Denver to lose to Kansas City. Now, some might say, Kansas City now clinched the number 1 seed. Why would they play and win? you don't want to really rest you guys for 2 weeks going into the playoffs because then they'll be real rusty. So they might play some of their starters. So, again, at this point, come 7 o'clock tomorrow, we'll know. Are the Dolphins just playing for pride, or are they playing to stay there, keep their playoff hopes alive? Because to me, it's Denver. Denver's the team we want to lose because they have a better chance of losing to the Chiefs, even without Mahomes in there, than the Chargers do losing to the Raiders, who also just are done. So it's going to be very, very interesting, but I have the Dolphins winning this one 28-17. I think we're going to see a lot of what we saw last week where Achan's going to really be the focal point and get him the ball. And then if the defenses are like, all right, we got to get rid of Achan, then you get it to Jonnu Smith. And they're like, all right, we got to focus on getting rid of Jonnu Smith. You can hit Tyreek Hill. See what I'm saying? Like, we have the weapons, so you just got to scheme them open. So I think the Dolphins win this one 28-17. It could go either way, but watching it and watching their quarterback play, it might even be a lower score. It might be like 17-10, 17-9. The Dolphins win, especially if the weather gets worse. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think a lot of them. Hopefully, you're going to see a lot of fumbles, and hopefully it's not the Dolphins fumbling the ball, because if it's wet like that and it's cold in the 40s, it's going to be hard to hold on to it. So I do think the Dolphins win this one. I'm hoping that these wins don't have Stephen Ross think that bring back Greer, give him one last shot, because you all know how I feel about that. And if that does happen, I will talk about it. But comment below. Let me know. What's your thoughts on this? Again, a lot could change. I think I'm going to make tomorrow's video tomorrow night. I'm going to make it probably after the 4:30 game to say if the Dolphins are eliminated or not. It's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Comment below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am going to make a video tomorrow, and then I'll see you Sunday at 4:05 with my dad. Will we be fighting for something, or is it pride? Comment below. And other than that, like usual, stay classy. My friends out.